Here's a reality check that might keep you up at night. Your most sensitive data could become completely exposed overnight, and the race to prevent this digital apocalypse is heating up faster than most people realize. The current administration is quietly orchestrating what could be the most significant cybersecurity overhaul in American history. And it's all centered around a technology that sounds like science fiction, but is rapidly becoming science fact: quantum computing. According to multiple industry insiders and former national security officials who spoke with Cyberscoop, the White House is preparing to unleash a comprehensive quantum computing strategy that could fundamentally reshape how America protects its digital infrastructure. We're talking about potential executive orders, national action plans, and mandates that could force every federal agency to completely rethink their cybersecurity approach. But here's where it gets controversial. They want to compress a 15-year timeline into just 10 years, and some experts are questioning whether that's ambitious leadership or reckless rushing. The Trump administration appears ready to signal to both domestic industry players and international allies that quantum computing represents far more than just another technological advancement. This is being positioned as a critical national security battleground, where America must not only defend against future quantum-powered cyber attacks, but also establish and maintain global technological supremacy. These behind-the-scenes discussions reportedly include several major policy moves that could send shockwaves through the tech industry. Sources suggest we might see significant executive action, potentially including one or more comprehensive executive orders. There's also talk of developing a national quantum plan that would mirror the AI Action Plan released earlier this year, which set the stage for America's artificial intelligence strategy. Perhaps most dramatically, federal agencies could receive a mandate to dramatically accelerate their migration timelines to post-quantum cryptographic protections. This isn't just paperwork we're talking about. This would require a massive overhaul of digital security systems across the entire federal government. While none of the sources could pin down an exact timeline for when these announcements might drop, the quantum computing industry is buzzing with anticipation. Some executives believe official announcements could materialize as early as this week, while others with knowledge of government processes caution that the rollout might stretch across several months. Now let's pause here and address the elephant in the room for those who might be wondering. What exactly makes quantum computing so threatening, and why should the average person care? Quantum computers operate on fundamentally different principles than the computers we use today. While traditional computers process information in binary bits, ones and zeros, quantum computers use quantum bits or qubits that can exist in multiple states simultaneously. This gives them the theoretical ability to solve certain types of problems exponentially faster than classical computers. Here's the part that should make your blood run cold. The encryption that currently protects everything from your bank account to government secrets relies on mathematical problems that would take traditional computers thousands of years to solve. Quantum computers could potentially crack these codes in hours or days. Currently, quantum machines powerful enough to break through classical encryption remain in the realm of theoretical threat rather than immediate reality. However, both government agencies and private industry have been investing years of planning and resources preparing for the inevitable day when these threats materialize into actual capabilities. The cornerstone of preparation efforts has involved a gradual but massive undertaking: systematically replacing older encryption algorithms embedded throughout IT infrastructure with newer post-quantum algorithms. Originally, this transition was planned to unfold over more than a decade, allowing for careful testing and implementation. But here's where the controversy kicks in. One quantum industry executive, who spoke anonymously to protect their government relationships, revealed that officials have been delivering a clear message throughout the quantum sector. Essentially, everyone involved in quantum policy has been the executive who shared these details explained that the effort appears to be spearheaded by two key government entities, the White House's Office of Science and Technology Policy, OSTP, and the Department of Commerce. This makes strategic sense, as OSTP handles high-level technology policy while Commerce oversees critical technology standards and regulations. Particularly interesting is the prominent role being played by Commerce Deputy Secretary Paul DeBar. DeBar brings a unique perspective to this role, having served as a Department of Energy official during President Trump's first administration, before transitioning to the private sector during the Biden years, where he co-founded and led his own quantum networking technology company. According to sources, DeBar is driving a lot of this quantum initiative, bringing both government, experience, and real-world quantum industry knowledge to the table. The messaging isn't limited to industry players. A former Department of Homeland Security official who maintains working relationships with the current administration confirmed receiving advance notice about upcoming quantum-related actions. This source noted that officials at both OSTP and the Office of Management and Budget have been particularly aggressive in pushing these initiatives forward. I did hear there was some forthcoming guidance for agencies given the push with AI, but more specifically, the need for government departments to be much more aggressive about what they're doing, since the code-breaking capability of quantum is pretty significant for federal agencies. The former official explained, speaking anonymously to discuss sensitive government conversations. Multiple other former government officials and administration allies have corroborated these reports, telling Cyberscoop that they've heard the administration is preparing some form of quantum computing action in the near future. When Cyberscoop reached out for official comment, an OMB official declined to discuss the administration's plans, and the Department of Commerce didn't respond to similar requests. This radio silence from official channels often signals that significant announcements are indeed being prepared behind the scenes. However, White House officials have already been dropping hints that bold quantum action is in development. Back in July, following the release of the AI Action Plan, OSTP Director Michael Kratsios made some revealing comments at a conference that now seem particularly prescient. Kratsios told the audience that the president wrote me a letter the first week or two that I was in office that essentially gave me a charge for what I was supposed to do for the next 3 years. He continued. He named 3 technologies in that letter. It was AI, quantum, and nuclear. We had our big nuclear day a month and a half ago. We had AI yesterday, so you can only assume, stay tuned. That's about as close to a public preview as government officials typically provide before major policy announcements. Pranav Gokhale, who serves as Chief Technology Officer at Inflection, a quantum computing company, confirmed to Cyberscoop that he's heard similar rumors about an impending executive order focused at least partially on accelerating post-quantum migration efforts across federal agencies. The sense of urgency driving these discussions reflects a strategic decision to be aggressive in the face of fundamental uncertainty. The uncomfortable truth is that nobody knows precisely when quantum computers capable of breaking current encryption will be developed. There's actually a running joke among quantum experts and industry observers that practical quantum code-breaking capabilities are perpetually 5 to 10 years away from becoming reality. Yet most experts, including cryptologists at the National Institute of Standards and Technology and the National Security Agency, the organizations responsible for setting encryption standards for the federal government and intelligence community, believe it's not a matter of if, but when such a breakthrough occurs. If that timeline accelerates beyond current expectations, the United States could find itself dangerously unprepared. And this is the part most people miss. The most dangerous scenario isn't just about when quantum codebreaking becomes possible, but about who achieves it first and whether they keep it secret. Several national security officials have pointed out a chilling strategic reality. If governments in China, Russia, or another adversarial nation were to achieve a significant breakthrough in quantum codebreaking capabilities, they would have powerful incentives to keep that breakthrough classified for as long as possible. Maintaining secrecy would preserve a massive intelligence advantage, allowing them to intercept and decode sensitive communications while their targets remain completely unaware of the compromise. Gokale also revealed another dimension of the discussions that could prove particularly controversial. Some government and industry voices are pushing to prioritize the safe and secure transition of cryptocurrencies to newer quantum-resistant encryption methods. This issue could potentially be addressed through executive order language. The first quantum executive who spoke with Cyberscoop confirmed that discussions around prioritizing cryptocurrency migration have indeed taken place, though they cautioned that it's unclear whether these ideas will ultimately be incorporated into any official White House executive order or formal plan. Bitcoin, in particular, presents unique challenges that may require a completely customized migration strategy, according to Gokale. He referenced a research study published by the United Kingdom's University of Kent that examined the technical costs and complexities of upgrading Bitcoin assets to newer quantum-resistant encryption methods. The cryptocurrency angle adds another layer of urgency to the quantum security discussion. Cryptocurrencies are already attractive, high-value targets for cyber criminals and state-sponsored hackers, particularly from countries like North Korea. The digital nature and often inadequate security practices in the crypto space could make these assets among the first and most vulnerable targets of any quantum-enabled attack. A slower rollout of quantum-resistant protections in the cryptocurrency sector could leave billions of dollars in digital assets exposed to quantum-powered theft or manipulation. The Kent University researchers reached a stark conclusion in their study. The Bitcoin upgrade to quantum-safe protocols needs to be started as soon as possible in order to guarantee its ongoing operations. But here's where things get really controversial. Is this aggressive timeline realistic? Or are we setting ourselves up for a cybersecurity disaster by rushing critical infrastructure changes? Some cybersecurity experts argue that accelerating post-quantum migration timelines could introduce new vulnerabilities if the transition isn't thoroughly tested and carefully implemented. Others contend that the quantum threat is so severe that accepting some implementation risks is preferable to being caught completely unprepared. This raises fundamental questions about how America should balance urgency against security, innovation against caution, and national competitiveness against collaborative international approaches to quantum security. What do you think? Are we moving too fast on quantum security preparations, potentially creating new vulnerabilities in our rush to address future threats? Or is this the kind of bold, proactive leadership necessary to maintain American technological supremacy in an increasingly dangerous digital world? Should cryptocurrency security be a national priority, or is this government overreach into private digital assets? And most importantly, if you knew that hostile nations might already possess quantum code-breaking capabilities they're keeping secret, would that change how aggressively you think we should be moving on these protections? The quantum revolution is coming, whether we're ready or not. The only question is whether America will lead it or be left behind by it.